Sacred places are secret places where man communes with the mysteries of God's universe. Away from the world of daily care, man has a moment to bring himself into harmony with the rhythms of nature. As the Zoroastrians believe, man's soul is eternal light, of the same substance as the divine. Man was born of light, and to light he must return, passing through the world of matter and emerging from the darkness once again to the light of God. A sacred place is a place where one can come and concentrate on these things, such as the shrine of the Zoroastrians of Iran, known as Pir Sabzi Chakchaku. Each year on the first day of summer, pilgrims flock from all over Iran to honor the green saint, the Lady of the Mountain, Hayat Banu. In ages past, the way was hard, and the journey often one of many months. The thought of the road and its difficulties was far from the minds of devotees whose striving was light, who thought of the end to be attained. The shrine of Hayat Banu is situated 87 kilometers from the central Iranian city of Yazd, on the road between Yazd and Abdakan, the heart of the region where Iran's dwindling Zoroastrian communities survived through centuries after their brethren became converted to Islam. The pilgrims arrive in the first days of the Persian month of Tir, which marks the turning point from spring to summer, the summer solstice, the longest day of the year. The modern Persian Tir is derived from the ancient word Tishtar, name of the Zoroastrian deity of rain. In ancient times, this site was the scene of petitioners to the heavens to bring blessed relief of waters to the sun-struck lands of summer. In this region where bright skies mean torrid heat and parched earth. The original meaning of the shrine has been forgotten, and the pilgrims tell another tale to explain their yearly visit, although the inner meaning remains the same. The legend that grew up in the Islamic era symbolized the Zoroastrians' own sense of plight at the incursions of the Arabs, which ended their reign in the 7th century, followed by the persecutions of Turkish rulers from the 11th century on, which finally drove them into the arid center of their land to seek refuge. The story goes that the last Zoroastrian Shah, Yazdegerd III of the Sasanian dynasty, had 3 daughters, of whom one, Hayat Banu, fled from the invading Arabs until she reached this mountain site. She begged the mountain to open up and let her into its bosom so that she might be safe. When the mountain remained deaf to her pleas, she wept, and her tears flowed over the earth and became the life-giving springs that bring the patches of green on the mountainside and in the desert. Moved by her sorrow, the mountain heeded her second plea and opened its embrace to enfold her in safety. A shepherd, wandering with his flock, once heard her voice issuing from the mountain, telling him to inform the people that the daughter of Yazdegerd was here in the mountain's heart, and they might come and find refuge themselves in God. Arabs as the sense of spiritual master in modern Persian. But attached to the shrine, it reflects a derivation from the word pari, meaning spirit, to which the English word fairy is related. For the ancient Zoroastrians, the paris were angelic figures, immortal and never-changing. Higher than human beings in creation, they were unable to evolve like humans, who could, through striving, rise still higher in the universe of the divine creation. Couched in the present-day legend of Hayat Banu is the ancient secret of life, which is the spirit flowing in the body, like water coursing through the veins of the earth. We venerate water sources. We venerate water courses. We venerate road divergences. We venerate road convergences. We venerate water-shedding mountains. We venerate water-saving fountains. To Ahura Mazda and Zoroaster, we send our greeting. The ancient prayer from the Holy Avesta, sacred book of the Zoroastrians, goes back to the times when worshippers petitioned the Amshaspentas, the divine beings around Ahura Mazda, the supreme deity, symbolized God's powers in nature. Hanahita was goddess of the waters and fertility, an expression of the divine force of giving life, shared with Haurvetat, the deity of plant life in the pantheon of angelic expressions of divine qualities. The Piranisabs, or green spirits of today, are the reminders of an ancient faith that sought fruitfulness in the earth, given energy by the sun, symbolized in fire, and tempered by the moon, the goddess, represented by flowing water and the changing tides, expressing the infinite harmonies of the creation, rippling rhythmically back to their divine source. Contemplation and worship are only part of the full life. It's time for the pilgrims to kick up their heels. A wedding party has made its appearance, and the groom gets a friendly beating, which goes back to the days when young men had to undergo an ordeal before being initiated into the order of manhood. Now it's just a matter of fun and games. Like the ceremonial offerings of sugar cones accompanying the Zoroastrian greeting, Kalmat Shirin, wishing the newlyweds the sweetness of love and harmony with each other and all around them.
وقتی این راه هم به این قشنگی نبود که الان هستا. از نیکو میمدم بالا. وقتی میمدیم این بالا خیلایی داشت. این خیلا الان این نو لوکس شده. این هم خیلی نبود. خیلی اندیشه ها میکردن. اونا که لوله کشی کجا؟ یه بالای پیر یه منبعی بود، فقط اون منبع آب داشت.
آب انبار؟
نه آب انبار نبود. منبع، همون منبعی که الان آب میچکه همونجا بود و الان استفاده میکردن. بله بله آره. حالا راجب چکچکو ما چرا میایم اینجا؟ اول حیات بانوی شاهزاده‌ای بوده، بسیار پاک و اصیل. موقعی که عرب میرزن به ایران، چون اونا بستگی به اصالت خودشون داشتن و حفظ ناموسشون، پناه آوردن
The fading of the old customs, the ultimate meaning of the rituals is gradually lost to memory. The sociologist has replaced the priest as the explainer of meanings of things. So the modern view of the shrine's function is that it brings people together in a pleasurable atmosphere, made richer because of the profound tradition behind it. Here, total strangers find a moment of intimacy to confide in each other, then to part, possibly never to meet again.
برای اینکه خودش در اختیار اعراب نده، برای ما مقدسه دیگه. اومده اینجا شهید شده، این عزیزه، ما اینو زیارت میکنیم. اون جنبه‌ای که ما میرقصیم و شادی میکنیم، من از نظر شخصی من اینه که این اسیر نشده، بعد چنگ اینو فرار کرده، ما شادیم که نیفتاده دست اونا. ببینید ما وقتی که اینجا دور هم جمع میشیم، این مسئله هم هست، چون در زمان قدیم نمیتونستیم زیاد دور هم جمع بشیم و ترس و وحشت بود برای ما. این مکانها باعث میشد که ما رو دور هم جمع کنیم و درد دلامونو با هم بگیم، حرفامونو با هم بزنیم، دید و بازدامونو بکنیم و در ضمن همدیگه هم رو ببینیم. این آشناییتی که برای ما درست میشد پایه میشد برای زندگی آینده، به خصوص برای تیپ دختر جوان یا پسر جوان. فرق نمیکنه پیرمردا پیرزنا میشستن از گذشتهشون در دل میکردن، با هم همینطور چیز. و ما الان میبینیم در مراسم مذهبیمون هم که اینجا انجام میشه گاهی اوقات این چیز نامزدی داریم یا عروسی هم بوده. من خودم و خانمم همینجا عروسی کردم، واقعا همینطور. ما همینجا عروسی چون معتقد بودم، دوست داشتم، مکان مقدسی هست، خوشبخت میشم و همینجا اومدیم اون بالا عروسی هم کردیم، شادی هم کردیم و رفتیم.
The older folk come to speak of their troubles and seek the advice of the Mubad, the Zoroastrian priest, whose word is all the more hallowed for being spoken in this sacred spot. For the younger people, it's an occasion to relive an old ritual, the escorting of the bride into the sanctuary of a goddess, once forbidden to men altogether. In this women's ceremony, the bride communes with the feminine principle of nature and divinity, and seeks inspiration through the fire, embodying the male principle radiating through all life. The greens crowning the bride's head are part of her own female's initiation rite to the new life of marital responsibility, consecrated through the goddess. lighting of candles, Zoroastrianism's gift to Christianity and other more recent faiths, symbolizes the votary intention to fulfill one's commitments to God and one's fellow creatures. The circle around the fire forms a sacred mandala, representing the completeness of the full life and the return of the individual soul in cycle towards perfection, the only point of release from the recurring cycles of material existence, expressed by the Zoroastrians as 4 ages, culminating in the Day of Judgment. Life is a process of weaving strands of thread, the many preoccupations of worldly existence. Once woven into a unity, like the mind concentrating its forces into a single power, they form a single piece, like the focused mind, which soars upward to heavenly aspiration. Herbs consecrated to the flame stand for the human existence consumed by the divine light, the spark of Ahura Mazda in every one of us, which ultimately burns up our material life and aspirations in the flames of perfection. Each life for the Zoroastrians is a constant striving towards perfecting. the pilgrim's gone, life goes on as it must through the cycle of the year.
چای نرفتی که آب بیاری من چای درست کنم. برو آب بیار من چای درست کنم.
چشم بیاره. بلنشم؟
بله بلند شد برو آب بیار من چای برات درست کنم.
یا الله دست کجا هست؟
بله
این برداره؟
بله پوست کنم
بستی؟
نه شد برو دود بیایه
For hot tea to warm the belly, one must make the effort to seek cool water. Work in the world, like maintaining a sacred shrine. Life's like that.